Hi, this is Tom Tresser for the University of Illinois at Chicago, the Great Cities Institute's Certificate in Nonprofit Management program. Our class is on nonprofits and civic engagement, and we're in week 4, where one of our chief topics is looking at citizen engagement, constituent engagement, getting the people you work with involved, looking at the difference between what a consumer is and a citizen. Consumer sort of stepping up to the counter and demanding service, like at McDonald's or FedEx, only wanting service when they want it, and sort of a transaction, as it were. People stepping up to the microphone, say at public meetings, and complaining and wanting something from the government body, almost again as if they were at the McDonald's counter, but devoid of any sense of community bonds or greater good or commonwealth, or we're all in this together, which is at the heart of citizenship. And so we have that to discuss and debate. Are we in a world of citizens, and we have moved far away from this concept of citizenship, and we're now in the world of consumer, and serve my needs, and I don't really care about your needs. I think that's a huge issue. But the one point I wanted to make in this video is, even though we're sort of meeting online, and this is a virtual experience, I'd like you to consider the role of physical space in your meetings. So a lot of the work that's being discussed in this class has to do with engagement, and there's a sense that people are coming together at various times to discuss and debate and to be trained and to agitate and so forth. But I think we need to spend a little bit of time in talking about the physical place where all this is happening. And so if your organization is in a position to have a good physical space that is accessible to your neighborhood, that is an asset. That is a civic asset. And if you're not in a physical place that's convenient, and again, in a big city, I think that means near a public transportation. But in the suburbs, it might mean some place that's convenient to the highway or the downtown area of your region. So if you don't have such a space, then a tip is to partner with an arts organization or a cultural organization. Usually, civic organizations of the kind that we're dealing with in this class are partnered with say a United Way agency, or maybe a church. That's a very typical kind of partnership. But my experience in blending the arts with civic engagement has been very profitable and very powerful. And in 1993, I was the staff member at a place called People's Housing in the north side of Chicago. And People's Housing was a very sturdy grassroots organization that built and maintained low-income housing. But we had the Howard Theater, which is right on Howard Street, and also several other great spaces. And it turns out the creative and thoughtful use of public space that's very accessible to the public. In this case, Howard Street was literally right off the main drag of Howard Street. Thousands of people passed it every day on the way to the major L station there. And so when you take a public space like that and put arts programming in it, music programming, other kinds of things, that has a public-facing aspect, you can easily add on civic engagement. And that's what People's Housing did. And so even though I was hired to create a community arts program that combined economic development and cultural planning and training and arts offerings, it quickly became a major driver for the other programming at People's Housing, which included community organizing, safety, local school council organizing, and of course, building and maintaining affordable housing. So that's a tip for you practitioners out there. Think of local art spaces that are embedded in your communities that have great spaces, and maybe that's a place where you host your first meetings and your early meetings in your organizing and civic efforts. And you'd be surprised to see how the tone and energy of them change and sort of percolate through your other work. All right. let's go back online and mix it up for week 4 of Nonprofits and Civic Engagement. I'll see you online.